Hello, everybody. This is Edgar Eddie Fernandez, your safety coach 4.0. Something that I want to talk to you today. It's about an article that was published by McKinsey and Company in November 2018. You can find the link on my linking group, Sufficient 4.0. Subscribe to my group, and I'm sharing all that type of information, articles from different sources. Well, what this article says, actually, the title of the article is the symbiotic relationship between organizational health and safety, and that's very interesting. This company is very well known about for consultancy, and then they make a lot of studies. And actually, this one was a very comprehensive study. More than 1,000 companies that were surveyed regarding on health and safety culture and what type of practices they have to achieve actually the recordable incident rate below not one below points 0.5. And so they interview a lot of health and safety managers, a lot of CEOs, and a lot of directors as well from different departments. And something that caught my attention is actually they divided. They said that what do the 90 the companies that they have or they achieve less than zero point 0.5 on their RIR, the recordable incident rate, what they do, what these companies are doing right now to achieve that number that is really well. I mean, it's less than zero point 0.5 on your RIR is extremely impressive, I would say. So they divided actually these companies. They divide the practices in two very simple, hard practices and soft practices. Most of of the companies actually they have more than one. It's higher. The recordable incident rate is higher than one or even higher than two. They discovered on this assessment on this survey that they only focus on hard practices, and it's something that actually is very true because when we try to reduce the incident rate, we always focus on procedures and training and and employees behaviors as well. But we never, well, I shouldn't say we never, but we don't see the soft practices that we need to encourage. And actually now in this industry 4.0 or the fourth industrial revolution, these soft practices are very important. Something that we need to take in count here before continuing with this video is your workforce has changed, and not only the new people, the young people, because now we some many times we try to blame or deviate the attention to the new people, to the millennials, for example, or now the generation Z. That is another one. Actually, between brackets, there is a book. I can share the link on my safety on the Sufficient 4.0 group regarding on this topic, the Generation Z, and how it's changing the landscape of the workforce in the world actually. And it's not Canada and the US are not exception. But only but at the same Generation X and the other generations, the way they are thinking are changing. So it's something that we need to take in count. Okay, we continue. So one of the SOC practices actually, it's it's they recommend actually, and I agree with this point, is to identify the behaviors of your employees that make their workstations or the places safer. So what we do, or what we have done for many years, at least more than 30, is to focus on, actually says here, on to mitigate the unsafe employees' behavior. So in other words, we implement base behavior safety to try to identify what behaviors are what behaviors from our employees are leading to have incidents, not in the other way. So you need it because your company is each company, it's very unique. It's something that you need to take in count. So there are, and obviously the products that you make, they're they're unique. So there are certain behaviors that your workers or employees have been developed through the years that are making your organization safer or are making that workstation safe. That's the type of behaviors that you need to promote in your company. So, in other words, as a manager or director or CEO, it's going to force you, that's the right word, it's going to force you to identify those behaviors to make your company, to achieve this type of results, the recordable incident rates below zero point 0.5. That means your incidents there, you can, I mean, almost you don't have or you won't have incidents. So, in other words, you are creating your own culture, your own innovation as well. Something. So now we need to go in the other way. Instead of identifying, I will repeat. Instead of identifying the behavior that your people are being developing to make the workplace unsafe, you need to go to the other way. Which ones are making your company safe? What are those employees, those behaviors from them that are making or are influencing others to make that section of the company safe? The second aspect, it's now something that I learned, and actually had the opportunity to work for one of these type of companies in my experience as a health and safety specialist, and for 25 years. And this is true because I testify that companies that have less than zero point 0.5 on your recordable incident rates, they make their employees to own the learning and ideas process. In other words, they encourage people or they have programs to to make their employees own and lead projects to make to make their workplace safer. So, let me explain you something. One of the programs, and actually they mentioned that in process safety we create when we do when we review our process hazard analysis in 5 years after modifications, we review scenarios in health and safety, in occupational health and safety. When something that I agree with the article is you need to create, or they recommend that you should create a near miss program. What is this program? It's the same. Imagine scenarios, create scenarios that you need to go through the incident investigation process to determine what type of actions you need to develop or to take to prevent that incident. That's the near miss program. Who's gonna lead this program? Can be led by your health and safety coordinator, supported by experienced operators, depending on the workstation, supported by engineers, and supported by maintenance people as well. Those four, and production as well. And then you're gonna start identifying scenarios that maybe you haven't thought in before, and then suddenly you can have those occurrences in your company, and then surprise! Now I have an incident, and your incident rate is gonna be affected. So it's very simple to do this. Looks like it's not, but it's very simple. You should follow these three steps actually. It's listen and learn, ask and teach, and act. It's very simple. Something that we need to do is to start listening to what those guys, your employees, they have developed, such as behaviors or ideas to make to make your company safe. I'm not saying that you are not safe right now. Don't misunderstand me. It's to improve the safety, your safety program, the safety of everybody, the safety of that workstation to prevent any occurrences. So when you start listening to them, not to reply to them, listen to them, to understand what they need to say and how we can improve. Second, ask. So as a leader or as a manager or anybody in this type of projects, they need to ask questions. What happened if? What happened if? The what ifs, right? Once you have this near miss going to the incident investigation process, now you're going to have an action items to implement. Because something that is missing, and actually this is my opinion, and it's another article I was reading from them, but for my other business, that now my other business, I help new business owners and to start their own businesses. It's part of one of my businesses. And something in business, and this not the safety is not deception to either, is we don't have an action plan. We have goals and objectives, but we don't have an action plan per each one of them. And it's something that are missed. Because remember, how you eat an elephant, you eat it by pieces. So you need an action to each one of those pieces. It's simple like that. It's not difficult. So you have many scenarios, so you have, I don't know how many workstations or aspects of your company to improve in safety. You need to go one by one. Don't overwhelm. That's another mistake from companies. They overwhelm too fast. No. It's one by one. And then your safety, your incident rates, your recordable rates, and your severity rates are going to start decreasing. Hopefully this video helps you. If you want me to help you, contact me at 613-464-0562 or Edgar Fernandez Efficient at gmail.com. Thank you very much and have an excellent day. Bye.